Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing very well. This evening I'm going to be doing a review for you all, so hopefully you find this one interesting. This is a horror film from the USA, English language, released in the year 2006, directed by Chad Ferrin, and this film is called Easter Bunny Kill Kill. And the story to Easter Bunny Kill Kill is as follows. A violent criminal named Remington cons his way into the life of a young single mother and a handicapped son, Nicholas. Taking every advantage of the naive young woman he can, Remington also takes sick pleasure in tormenting Nicholas and his pet bunny whenever she's not around. One night, however, the abuser and his degenerate friends can't find Nicholas. Instead, an Easter Bunny masked serial killer has found them and wants bloody revenge. So the movie starts off with a young woman and her son who has cerebral palsy, and they have just met a man named Remington. Now, Remington appears to be everything that the single mother was looking for. He appears to be very, very charming, and he makes her very happy. But what she doesn't know is what Nicholas, her son, knows. And whenever she's not around, Remington makes fun of Nicholas whenever he can. He makes fun of the fact that he has cerebral palsy. He calls him a retard all the time, and he's just really, really bad to him. Just a very nasty individual. But the woman, the mother, is partly blinded by the fact that she wants someone in her life, so she's prepared to basically believe everything that Remington says and not what her son says. So one day, the mother says to Remington, look, if my son doesn't like you, I can't be with you. We're basically a package deal. So in order to get Nicholas to like Remington, Remington says, look, you have to like me, otherwise I'm going to kill your pet rabbit, who, Nicholas adores. So in order to save his rabbit, Nicholas says, okay, I like Remington. So this appears to be okay for the mother until one night where she goes to work, and Remington decides to invite his degenerate friends around to basically have pleasure making fun of Nicholas. But the thing is, Nicholas can't be found on this particular night. Instead, what they find is a Easter Bunny masked serial killer that is picking them off one by one. So that's all I'm going to give you on the synopsis. If you want to know more, please go out there and see this film for yourself. Now, my thoughts on Easter Bunny Kill Kill. This sounds like a ridiculous film, and it is a ridiculous film, but I thought it was ridiculous in a really good way. Now, it's a very low-budget movie. It's got a ridiculous name. I saw the trailer. I wasn't interested, and for so long, I put this away. I didn't want to watch it. I heard a few other people talking about it, but I felt that this is definitely not my kind of thing. But at that stage, I didn't know about Chad Ferrin. I didn't know about his provocative work, about his politically incorrect work. And so a long time I put this off, and it wasn't until I watched Chad Ferrin's film that he did 3 years later, called Someone's Knocking at the Door. That was billed as the most depraved film in a very, very long time. And when I watched it, I thought it was so creative that it was just so disgusting, repulsive, politically incorrect. It's basically saying, to hell with all the rules that confine Hollywood horror. I'm making films for what I feel they should be, and I'm just going to have a lot of fun doing it. I'm going to offend as many people as possible. But what I'm saying, what I feel that Chad Ferrin is saying is, like me or don't. Basically, what you see is what you get. You don't have to like it, but if you like it, what I'm going to do is break free of the boundaries of Hollywood horror, and I'm just going to give you what horror is all about. And to me, a good horror film is something that's either really scary, really brutal, or a really dark humor film, a dark comedy that makes fun of taboo themes. And what I mean by that is, pedophilia, cerebral palsy, calling people retards, all that kind of thing that society says you can't do. Chad Ferrin does. And I feel that he does it really well, and it shows that Chad Ferrin is an extremely talented filmmaker, and for that I am a big fan of his. Now, I'm not a fan because he makes fun of these things. I'm a fan because it feels like he's not afraid. And so coming into Easter Bunny Kill Kill, I had the expectation that, yeah, it had a very simplistic plot, but I was hoping that it would have a twist on it. And that's exactly what it does. And that's why I was so surprised by it, and I ended up enjoying it a hell of a lot more than I thought I would. In fact, I was expecting to hate it, but what I did was basically feel the complete opposite of hatred. So, to start off with, it is very low budget, and that does work in its favour, and also works against it. Now, in the favour, it wants to be a filthy film, and a lot of films that want to be filthy aren't quite as filthy because of their budget. That if you've got a higher budget movie that's trying to act dirty, it doesn't feel dirty because the cinematography and the production value is too clean for a repulsive feeling. But Chad Ferrin, I don't know exactly what the budget was on this, but it's a very low budget film. And Chad Ferrin knows this, and that's what helps contribute to the filthy feeling that the film has. And one word that can sum the film up is filth, degenerate. Basically, everything that is wrong with humanity, Chad Ferrin has put into this film, and he's made it charming. He's made it likable, which is something I wasn't expecting. Remington, despicable human being, but a likable human being at the same time. It's just really funny the way he's delivering his lines, some of the things that he does. In some scenes you hate the guy, in some scenes you like the guy. So it's kind of like a love-hate relationship. And for that, I'm not a despicable person. But it was just really weird to see Chad Ferrin has put so many dimensions into his characters that it's not all black and white. You go into a Chad Ferrin film expecting bad guys to be bad, good guys to be good. You're going to be, surprised, because even in Someone's Knocking at the Door, the good guys weren't that good. They weren't that likable, and the bad guys had a certain charm to them still. So he takes the degenerate sort of society, and he spins it into a very charming way. And that's something that a lot of filmmakers wouldn't be able to do, but Chad Ferrin does it very, very well. So what I meant by in the negative side of the budget was that towards the end, when the bloodbath starts happening, you can't see exactly what's going on in some instances, but the violence is very nasty, and you can see a lot of it. But there is a few scenes where I thought the low budget, the low quality in the visual kind of got in the way a little bit. So that is a slight negative. But as far as low budget filmmaking is concerned, I thought it was very intelligently done. I thought the characters were exaggerated, especially Remington. He had a really exaggerated evil laugh. But what I liked about Remington was the fact that I liked him. He was so bad, he was such a horrible human being, but the way he does it was just really fun. So that gives you the mood that you can't take yourself seriously. It is very offensive, but it feels like the underlying sort of charming sort of value it has to it, it kind of just lightens it up a bit. It's a film that you can just let your hair down. He breaks free of all the confinements that Hollywood horror has, and he's made it into a film that is very memorable. I thought there was some very good horror set pieces as far as suspense is concerned. I thought that most of the film takes place inside the house, which was really good. Once again, it's sign of a director who is full aware of the budget he has, so he's playing it smart. I thought, towards the end it kind of got creepy, and I really liked the Easter Bunny sort of killer. It felt like a movie that you can watch on an Easter weekend. And so, you get a lot of Christmas-themed horror films, and this one is going to be one for Easter. So the twist at the end was a really nice way to cap off the film. And so, yeah, it's a movie that I was expecting to hate, but I ended up really liking it. So as a result of all that, I'm giving it 3 stars, and it's going to come recommended. But only if you're not easily offended and you don't mind lower budget sort of feelings. So it's an extreme film, but it's an extreme film that I thought was well worth the effort. So 3 stars for Chad Ferrin's Easter Bunny Kill Kill. Very big fan of this director. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.